One way to crawl from being break even to being in profit is looking down at pocket kings. We're on the button and there's a low jack open to $35. The hijack makes the call and I'm in position here, and let's 3-bet because I think I want to get more money in the middle with a premium like this. I size up to $150, and surprisingly both the low jack and hijack players make the call. We're also playing pretty darn deep as well. We're off to a flop 3 ways, which comes king jack 5 rainbow. Action checks to me, and this seems like a relatively dry board. Not a whole lot of draws on here besides queen 10 pretty much. And with top set, I think I block a lot of the hands that can call a c-bet. So I decided to just check this one back and hope to build a bigger pot on the turns and rivers. When the turn comes the 7 of clubs, the hijack bets out $250. Onto me here, I'm not really concerned much about club draws considering I have the king of clubs and maybe he has some bluffs in here. So I don't want to fold out those bluffs as well. I make the call for $250 and the low jack folds. So with top set, very much disguised at that, we're off to a river, which is the 8 of clubs. Like I said, I wasn't too concerned about the club draw getting there, but it is troublesome as I don't have the nuts anymore. Anyways, this hijack player bets out $620, and now I tank. Not tanking because obviously I want to fold here. I'm just thinking about if I can ever raise. And if I do make that raise, can I ever get called by worse hands? I don't even know what worse hands could be out there taking this line, as there is a straight on board and the flush as well. So ultimately, I ended up just making the call, really slow playing top set here, and somehow this player has queen 10 of clubs. Results wise, I practically lost the bare minimum with a really strong hand, and it almost actually feels really good to just call and not raise, as we certainly could have lost a monster pot. There was no street in the world where this player was ever folding, no matter how much I bet. I guess this is one of the ways of losing the minimum with top set. Moving on to the second bullet of this tournament, the very first hand I get dealt in at this new table, I pick up pocket 8s in +3, and let's continue the action. I raise it up to 2,500, and the player to my left makes the call, folds around to the big blind who calls as well. So 3 ways to a glorious flop of 8-5-3 2 spades. Wow. Here, big blind checks to me, and multi-way, I have top set, so it's really strong, and there's a flusher out there, but the only thing is that 8 high flops almost seem to never hit me as the pre-flop raiser. On top of that, I also block all the top pairs that I can get value from, so pretty much only betting to get value from flush draws. I decide to check this one, and the player to my left now throws out a bet of 4,100. Onto the big blind player who thinks about his decision for a long time, but no action from him. He folds. And onto me here, like I said, I block a lot of the value hands that he could be having here with all the top pairs. So with that said, I decide on just making the call. I have a very disguised top set. Literally, I don't think anyone could believe I have top set in this spot. So we're going to a turn heads up. We're out of position, which comes the deuce of diamonds. Brick City card here for the most part, and ice play and flow to check. He checks this one back, sadly, so not going to get chips in the middle on this turn. We're off to a river, which is the queen of spades. So feeling a little not happy about it, as spades do get there. Anyways, I play and flow and check again. And this time, praying for a bet, and he does bet out 6,500, give or take. Well, facing this bet here, I count out my stack. It's about 28,000, and is my hand ever weak enough to just make the call here? Early on in this tournament, I think I'm happy to gamble and play for stacks, but considering it's early and I can give myself the opportunity to build a big stack, I think it over, and with a set of 8s, it's disguised. I can maybe get called by 2 pair or even a pair of queens. I don't know. It's hard to imagine a worse hand than a set of 8s to call here, but who knows? I decide to stick it all in. I jam, and upon my all in, he thinks about it and doesn't snap call. So that's a good sign that we're not up against the flush. I think flushes have an easy decision to just close their eyes and make the call here. But ultimately, he ends up making the call, which is awesome. I show my set, and it's good against his queen jack offsuit. So found a really nice river card. It wasn't great that the spades got there, but still found a way to get paid regardless. And now I have a full double up, over 70,000 in stack.